Well, just another quick update for the week. Was working on the wiring more. Unfortunately, this is going to be probably a pretty short update because ran into a couple things that kind of delayed getting much of anything done this week. I was hoping to have the entire front of the harness all done pretty much this weekend, but ran into a few difficulties. I was working on this deal from a Facebook group where they sell a bunch of the GT500 stuff. Was trying to work a deal. Basically, there was a guy that was bought a turbo kit, and so he was selling his VMP Gen 2R supercharger for a really good deal because he had to get rid of it because he had that turbo kit. And so I was trying to then sell my stock blower, the Trinity 2.3, and trying to sell that to a guy and then take the money from that with a little extra and buy the Gen 2R for now, and then hopefully this winter or whatever get the Gen 3 model and do their trade-in program. And was actually going to hopefully work out, so it would end up actually costing me too much actually. So I was going back and forth with the guy on mine and trying to negotiate a price and a deal with him, and I kept the other guy up to date on it, so he knew what was going on and he knew I was working on something. And finally, we ended up striking a deal on the shipping and the price. After I got a quote shipping for him, and I told him I'd split the shipping costs with him to ship it to him, and so got all that done Saturday morning, and messaged the guy that we finally struck the deal, and so basically I was ready to buy the VMP from him, and then tells me, oh, by the way, I sold it this morning. So that put me in kind of a bind because I wasn't going to go back and tell that other guy, no, sorry, the other guy sold it, so I'm not going to sell you this. I mean, that's not cool. So I end up spending Saturday getting that, working on that, and getting it packaged up and ready and shipped out and stuff. So that kind of missed me over. So at the moment, for right now, I have no blower for the engine. That sucks. I told that guy, that he knew I was working on the deal. And I kept him up to date the whole week about what was going on, and that we had agreed upon a price, and we were just trying to figure out shipping and whatnot. But I guess he didn't care, so he ended up selling it basically out from under me. So I have no blower at the moment. So I guess I'm keeping my eye out to see if anybody has anybody's selling maybe a Gen 2R, if they're upgrading to a Gen 3 or doing something different, and I can find a good deal on one. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm going to do. But so that was a lot of Saturday, so I didn't get much done on this. One thing I did get done was I ended up having to take the door to try to get the harness out here from inside. I couldn't pull it out to disconnect it with the door attached, so I ended up having to kind of set up, kind of jury rig something here with a couple jack stands and kind of a couple boards there. I set the basically I took the screws out of the bolts out of the door, dropped it down just like an inch or so, sitting on top of those jack stands, and I had some towels under it to protect it so I didn't scratch the door, and was able to pull it out and get that disconnected, and then the GT500 door harness connected. The wiring harness looks identical, the same. They didn't really change the doors much from 7 to 14, so I didn't have to pull the door completely apart, which was nice. So I was just able to do that. So I will end up doing the same for that one, but that's what I got done. I end up changing out like I said, I don't remember if I mentioned it last time or not, but I realized that the connectors for the pedal assembly is completely different in the wiring harness for whatever reason. So I swapped out the gas pedal and was working on swapping out the clutch pedal assembly. I got it disconnected and pulled out, but when I was trying to reassemble it, had a little bit of an issue, which was the latter half of my day on Saturday and most of today messing around with. For some strange reason, I'm just having the hell of a time getting the little clip here to go back in. It's weird. It's you can see there's a little groove in there, and there's just like a little clip that a little retaining clip that pops down into there, and it came out relatively easy. Just take a little screwdriver down there and kind of pick it out, and boom, pops right out. But for the life of me, I just cannot get it to go back in. I end up bending it and messing it up, and turns out O'Reilly's does not carry that. It looks like it's something special from Ford, I guess, or something. So I'll have to go down to the Ford dealership tomorrow after work and see if they have any or can get me some. Hopefully they're not charging too much. But I don't know why. I was watching YouTube, and people like, oh yeah, just when they're swapping out that hydraulic clutch clutch transmission hose there. It just pops out, and then if you replace this, put the new one in, and just use like basically they're still having it in the car, and just use a pliers there or something, and just pushes it right back in. But I don't know what trick I'm missing, but I just cannot for the life of me get that to go back in. So I don't know. I gotta figure that out and see what's going on. In the meantime, while I was doing that research, if I was missing something, or if there was a trick to it or whatnot, I saw some stuff about people talking about instead of using the plastic hose here, got by getting steel braided one because it makes it more reliable. And if you especially with aggressive driving, turns out that these can crack or have issues. So probably do that anyways, as long as I got it out, and I'm going to do that. So that is that. Oh, here's the there's that stupid little retainer clip, and I don't know, like I said, for life of me, I just cannot get that thing to go back in. But so unfortunately, not a ton of forward progress this week, but a little bit. So that's where we're at. Thanks. Bye.